And we're back, everybody. Welcome back to more esports talk. Ironically enough, today we talk about the common debate, which will be ongoing, especially throughout 2020. That being the question now being presented and has been for quite some time: are esports sports? And actually, what defines a sport, and should esports fit that category? You guys, as per usual, can leave your thoughts, your comments down below as to what makes a sport and if esports actually fit that category. But throughout 2020, throughout the close of this year, I will keep on sharing the opinions of mainstream celebrities and creators out there who actually share their opinions on whether or not esports are sports. First of all, guys, I'll show you a clip from Bayless alongside Shannon and Sharpe. If you guys do not know, some great broadcast talent out there. And we've already talked about traditional media and their sense of esports and legitimacy of those. I think we all can agree that, you know, Fox and NBC, all the mainstream news outlets love to make fun of video games, and they're slowly coming around to the fact that esports are going to be the future. But with that being said, the new debate is esports, are they sports? Here's what Skip and Shannon had to say, and a follow-up to that, guys, will be Joe Rogan, the podcast king, and his thoughts as well. But here are Skip and Shannon.
Are esports a real sport? And if so, would you consider someone like Ninja to be a professional athlete?
I know who Ninja is. I follow him on IG and on Twitter.
You do?
I do know who Ninja is. I also know who Booga is. I'm gonna say yes, it is a sport. If you notice, Michael Jordan has bought into it. Mr. Kraft has brought into an esport team, so yes, it is a sport.
I do not follow Ninja on anything, and I'm going a big no. It is not a sport. It's a skill, but it's not a sport because there's no real athleticism to it. There's no full body use at all. It is reaction time, obviously.
The mind.
Yeah.
You have to use your mind.
A sport of the
Mental
mind.
sport.
So Shannon, really easy to convince, you know? He thought just because it takes a skill and there's skill involved in whatever, then it is a sport, which we'll touch on back and again when we actually go to Joe Rogan's side of things. I think Skip, though, I do respect his approach. I respect both these guys. In fact, I really do enjoy their show on top of this. But Skip makes sure to note that, yes, there is a skill involved, but it's mainly a mental sport, not a physical or athletic sport, because you don't use your full body, therefore no full physicality. And that's how he defines sports, as involving your full body, involving more physical and athleticism as compared to moving a mouse around, which is a skill, but more so of a mental sport, which I think we could argue a little bit back and forth. Not my job, not my time. We're going to go into Joe Rogan as well, who does touch on the skill aspect and actually refers esports to that of snooker, other sports as well that take that same amount of skill. There's entertainment, there's value in terms of funding and prize pools, and alongside that there's skill, and that's how maybe he defines a sport. So he actually does compare it to other sports out there, and thus I think that Joe Rogan, if questioned, he would likely say that esports are a type of sport because there is skill, there's entertainment, and there's value.
The thing is that a game like that is well respected because someone has to execute. It's not just thinking. You have to actually pull off the shot. Yes.
It's a skill.
Yes.
And also people love to watch it who play snooker.
Yeah.
Probably not me, but people know the difference, right?
A video game, you have to execute as well. But it doesn't seem like you're doing it because you're not physically, you're just moving your hands around and moving a keyboard, and it doesn't seem like it's as skillful, but it is.
Yeah, that's a really interesting question. I don't know. You're asking a really interesting question, right?
Yeah.
Like, so, because what they are doing is they're providing entertainment for people, just like a great pool player, right?
Right.
So when you watch pool, you're doing it for stakes, you're doing it for money, but you're also watching these people who have mastered this insane geometry.
Well, we respect some versions of that, like golf.
Yeah.
We respect golf.
Yeah.
You
'Cause
watch
we
some
play it.
and also the money that's available. That's why we don't respect bowling.
Yeah.
Like someone's a good bowler, you're like, congrats, you pat him on the head. Good for you. Good for you. Nobody cares. One of the best golf players of all time.
Yeah.
You know, that golfer is going to make millions and millions of dollars a year. Like, that guy is a baller. He's a golfer, and he's at the top of the food chain when it comes to...
Any of those skills require you to master yourself in many ways.
Oh, yeah.
right?
Sure. But the thing is that the video games, it seems like it's happening in a digital realm. And because of that, it's not taken as seriously. Even if you found out they made more money. Like, when you find out someone's a successful video game player, there's a certain part of you like, oh, why are you wasting your time with that? Even if you go, he makes $5 million a year, you're like, oh, well, good for him.
Yeah.
Seems weird.
Yes.
Right? There's like a weird,
Yes.
It's still not good. Even though
you know what it is for us who are older? It's subversive.
Yes.
That for guys that are our age, it's subversive. we don't trust it, we don't like it, we
Mm-hmm.
don't understand it, and it scares us a little bit because it also reminds us of our own mortality.
We're also brainwashed to thinking the video games are for losers.
All of that. So
And with all of that being said, as per usual, you guys can leave your full thoughts down below. I'm not going to give my standpoint. I think you guys probably know where I stand on this. At this point in time, though, I think the main argument as to why I argue for esports to be considered traditional sports is the ever-impending visa issues for several countries out there as well. When it comes to travel of these esports pros or esports athletes, they are treated much differently as compared to how their country treats these athletes as esports or sports. It has a heavy impact on how governments do affect those kind of things. And so for the future, whether or not it be via esports or be via being, of course, determined as sports, I just hope that becomes less of an issue. And that's why I argue for esports being considered sports. When it comes down to the physicality of it, the athleticism, other things as well, everyone defines sport as a different thing. So if we can try and formulate one general opinion of what a sport is, then maybe we can actually better answer the question. What do you guys think? Are esports sports? Until next time, I'll be back here, guys, every single day breaking down esports, gaming, other news as well. Until then, take care of yourselves. I'll be back here sometime soon.